suits my clothes. That is how I play a really neat bluesy number that I learned from a recording of Virgil Anderson called I'm a Poor Boy and a Long Old Ways from Home. Really neat tune. It's actually, I guess I've kind of figured out, I think, the simplest way for me to play it. But it's actually been kind of a challenging tune for me. You know, a lot of times I'll learn a new piece and I'll just, you know, it'll just come right out of you and it's real easy. But this one took me a lot of iterations to get through. I have not tabbed this one out yet, so it's not quite, you know, mapped out in my mind perfectly. But if you want to see the tab for this, you can visit this link right now. That link will take you to patreon.com/Clifton Hicks. If you go to that link and sign up, you can get the tab for this and every other piece that we teach here. So the tuning is what they call F tuning, I guess. It's fDGCD. Maybe you don't call it F tuning so much as it's played in the key of F, I guess, which is that chord right here. So to make that chord, I'll put my ring finger on the first string at the 3rd fret. I'll put my trigger finger on the 3rd string at the 2nd and my middle finger on the bass string at the 3rd. And the sister chord to this is you just move your 2 top fingers down to this. So you get those 2 chords in this piece, and a lot of the tunes in this tuning will use that chord shape. So you started out with the chord shape, kind of holding it, and then you're going to go and you start out on the noted bass string at the 2nd fret. And back into the chord. Okay, so you're doing that number, and it's really up to you to come up with a picking pattern. And you could do it overhand, clawhammer style. May have to ride the blinds, woman, I ain't got a long time. Something like that. I've never tried to play it overhand before. Anyhow, so you go into the, you go back into that chord. Just kind of come up with a little rhythm. Then after the first little, you know, part, first verse or whatever, first stanza, you go into your higher chord. So you move these strings from the F shape to that higher chord, and then you get my clothes is so ragged, I got no winter shoes, back into your F chord. Then you got to figure out a way you're going to bar at the 5th fret. Me, I find it suits me to just kind of, I hold the chord, and then at a convenient moment, I will slide down. And then all I'm really doing when I'm at the bar, you know, point there, once I bar it, I'm just doing with my right hand that's just a series of drop thumbs to the 3rd string while everything's barred at the 5th fret. That's how I get that real. And then you just go back in, you're going to strike your do a little double note on your 2nd string, back into your chord. So that's it. Like, that's the basics of how to do that. How to do the picking part. Now, how to actually match the words to that tune is another story. I had to considerably change Anderson's lyrics, for example, because he's so comfortable with that tune, been playing it forever, that he lyrically kind of wanders around and kind of freestyles, I guess you might say. He kind of says like whatever the hell he wants, and he jams it into whatever he's doing there, or he drags his hand movements out to fit it. And you know, so for me, I just had to. I like to do a little more, you know, standardization than that typically, especially with a piece like this that I've only been playing this tune for maybe a year or 2 now. So I had to come up with my own kind of lyrical approach to it to make it fit. You're gonna have to do the same thing, but probably what I just showed you ain't gonna fit. But again, we'll have the tab up. You'll see a link to the Patreon now where you can get the tab if you are interested, and we sure appreciate it. Thanks for looking.